Hey guys, my name is Madison.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, my name is Madison.
And my name is Alex.
And today we're going to be talking about how we got together.
That's right, yeah,
Yeah.
we are. And if you don't already know me, I am her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah.
She's talked about me. And so now you guys finally get to meet me. And so we're excited. We're going to talk about kind of how God brought us together and the long story kind of behind that. There's a lot that
It's kind
goes
of
into
crazy.
it. Yeah.
God
It
is
is
cool
wild.
how he works things together.
Yeah, so why don't you
He has
start
a
off?
plan. Okay, so we actually grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
So like we played soccer together when we were little.
Yeah,
we didn't really know each
never
other.
knew this until
We didn't
got
know
married.
until we got married that we played soccer together when we were little.
Yeah, because we both grew up in the same city, and we played City League soccer.
Yeah.
And our guys' team and their girls' team, same age group, would play each other. And would, like, for practices and stuff like that.
Scrimmage games all the time.
Yeah, and we'd always beat them, but I never knew that she was on the team. Yeah, so.
Who had more championships?
I'm pretty sure we do.
No.
I just didn't play every single year, but she
You
did.
can't claim the championship if you weren't on the team.
I was on the team. Okay.
You weren't on the team.
They're going to
You
think
weren't
I'm
on-
terrible at sports now.
You're not terrible. He's not terrible
Alright.
at sports. He's not.
Yeah.
But I'm better at soccer.
Okay. She's better at soccer. Sure.
But then we actually went to the same youth group. So the church that we both work at now, when we were teenagers, we grew up in the youth group together.
That's right. And she actually didn't like me. She thought that I was a bad kid, which,
You kind of were.
yeah, I kind of was. But she kind of judged me a little bit.
I did.
Yeah. I had long hair. I had hair that came down to the back of my shoulders. I had a perfect flow. Like, come on, all these guys are dreaming of these mullets that they want nowadays. But I would have had a perfect one, but I didn't do it. It wasn't a thing back then. I say that like we're super old, but
We're not old.
yeah, we're not old.
We're 23.
Anyway, she thought she didn't like me.
I did not like him.
And so
I thought he was a bad kid, and I didn't really want anything to do with him. And he would like come up and try to talk to me, and I would just kind of like keep walking.
our youth pastor would try and push me towards Madison, but I told him that she didn't like me. Like, I don't know what
I
was
really
wrong.
didn't.
So
But now look at us.
yeah, that's right. After a long road, she actually left us and went to college, and I didn't see her for probably, 3 years, 4 years?
3 years maybe.
I think it was like 3 years or so. And I stayed at our church, and I was the youth pastor assistant under our former youth pastor, our youth pastor as
Yeah.
whenever we were in the youth, and I was his youth pastor assistant. I worked at the church. I was always there. I had a lawn care company that I started, and I was working all the time. If I wasn't cutting grass, I was at the church. So I assumed she didn't know all of this. And so she was at James River in Missouri, and she was having a good old time, and then she came home.
And he had completely changed his life around.
Yeah, completely.
I left, came back, and he was basically a youth pastor, which was wild to me.
And so our former youth pastor, he resigned, and to be a missionary, nothing crazy, nothing negative happened there. It's actually a God thing in his life, and him and his wife and family went to be missionaries. They are now fully appointed missionaries that are headed to Belize, and they'll actually be leaving not this coming January, but 2023 January. They will be headed down to Belize to be fully appointed missionaries. And so I was offered the position as the youth pastor, and I became the youth pastor in January of 2018. I think it's 2018. So this coming up January will be my 3rd year completed as a youth pastor and going on my 4th year. So it's been incredible. And so she came home about that time in the same time area.
I think you had been a youth pastor for a year.
Oh yeah, almost a year.
When I started working at the church.
Yeah, and so whenever she was there and she started working and was the worship pastor assistant, I still had the same feelings from when we were in the youth ministry together. I didn't think she liked me anymore still. Like, I still felt like there was tension somewhere. I don't know why.
I swear there wasn't.
Yeah, and so what I would do is whenever she was working at the church, I would come by the office and just nonchalant create conversation and just talk to her, because I wanted to build that relationship, because I did not like the fact that she didn't like me. Just as a person, like, it wasn't anything crazy.
He thought I hated him.
Yeah.
And, like, of course, when you're working together, especially at a church, when you're on staff at a church, you don't want, like,
Certainly.
any hostility or any animosity like that between coworkers. And so he was coming to talk to me thinking that I hated him and he wanted to build that relationship. I thought he was coming to talk to me because I thought he liked me. I thought he was coming in to flirt. And to just hang out and get to know me again. It was a surprise to me when I found out that that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Through that process, like, God softened both our hearts, really. And it kind of happened naturally that we just kind of liked each other. And there was actually a game night that happened, and it was just with some of the staff members, some of the younger staff members. We had a game night at her house, and I showed up, and it was just
it was like instant, like almost like we were together even though we weren't, and everybody was kind of looking at us funny, like, are y'all a thing? And we're like, we don't know if we're a thing or not. We just apparently like each other.
Yeah, I was flirting with her, obviously.
I was flirting back.
Yeah, you know how it works. From there, it just kind of fell all into place, and actually, I think a couple weeks later, after we started officially talking, or the week that we started talking,
I think it was the week after.
And I went on a Appalachian Trail hike. So I've been hiking with our lead pastor. We've been hiking the Appalachian Mountains.
Way to go, Esther.
Poor thing. It was about a 60-mile hike or so. And so I was going to be gone for an entire week. And Madison couldn't hold herself together.
It was such a struggle. And the weird thing about it is that we had just started talking, but I feel like both of us already had, like, a deep emotional connection to each other. And so the fact that he was gone in the middle of nowhere on a mountain with no phone service or phone battery half the time.
Her, nothing.
It was difficult. And I think that week apart with not really being able to talk to each other, like, kind of solidified our feelings for each other. Like, it made us realize, oh, wow, I actually have, like, real feelings for this person. It's not just, like, a fleeting crush.
Yeah, that's right. And then when I came back, I went to her house, and then ever since then,
we've been together.
Yeah, we've been together. We've been together just about every single day since that day.
Yeah. So and it all happened really fast too.
Yeah. Not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way at all.
Just because God ordained every moment.
Very God ordained.
Yeah.
But it happened very fast, so.
That's right.
I'm sure some people thought that we were taking it too fast, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And so if you're a couple out there and, you know, maybe God has brought you guys together, and I would just encourage you to do what God's called you to do. Maybe it's to wait a couple years to get married, or even a couple months. I don't know what it is, but I know that God spoke to us, and this is what He told us to do, and so we quickly got married, and in the eyes of most people, it would have been considered quickly.
We got married before we had been together for a year, so I feel like most people would consider that pretty fast.
Yeah, certainly. And again, we did that because we felt like that's what the right thing was to do, and that was what God was telling us to do, and so that's what we did. We were obedient, and I would encourage every single relationship, every single dating couple to do the same. Is just to simply be obedient to what God is telling you guys to do, and it'll all work out in the end for sure.
And everybody's story is different too. So like, don't let people drag you down. Like, if you know that you're doing what God has asked you to do, if you know you're with the person God has designed for you to be with, then don't let other people like try to talk you out of that.
Yeah, that's right. And even on the purity side of things, it's important to stay pure. And, you know, like the Bible says, if you can't stay pure, then you need to get married. And that's not an excuse, well, I just do that so I can, you know, I can have sex now or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's not the case. That's not what it's about. That's just simply being obedient to what God has told you to do. Obviously, He's putting feelings between you and that person, and the feelings that should only happen when you're married. And so, you know, get married.
Yeah.
You know,
just
like,
get married.
Yeah, get married, and you know, so that you can honor God in all that you do. I think that is very important as well in everybody's relationship with anybody.
Yeah.
Is just simply honoring God.
Yeah, and don't feel like you have to continue to drag out the process and wait to get married just because it's like a societal thing to like wait 2 years or whatever.
That's
like
right.
just do what you know you need to do, because it may protect you from a lot of things.
Yeah, and you might be scared. Yeah, you might be scared like, well, I can't have the dream wedding, or I can't do the things I was wanting to do. I promise you, we were able to have every single thing.
God is faithful.
Yeah, we were able to have every single thing that we could ever imagine at a wedding or a honeymoon or whatever the case may be. God was still faithful.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome, everything that we did get to do, and I felt much better honoring God rather than having every single thing that I was wanting to have, or it just felt so much better, and I think everything flowed so much better, and I felt an ease in my heart. I felt an ease in our relationship, and I felt like God truly solidified what me and Madison had together. Because we were obedient to what God told us to do, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
So, that's right.
So we got married April 24th of 2021 this year.
That's right.
And it was an absolute dream wedding.
Mm-hmm. It rained.
It did rain.
The whole time.
And I was originally upset.
Lightning
like
strike.
A full-on thunderstorm.
Mm-hmm. It
was clear skies, beautiful, until like 10 minutes before I was supposed to walk down the aisle.
Thunderstorm. I'm talking about a tornado on top of a mountain.
Basically. It was wild, and I had to walk out anyway because we didn't know how long the rain was going to last. Mm-hmm. And then oddly enough, as soon as the ceremony was over, it stopped raining.
Come on, and it's not like we even delayed the wedding.
Yes.
Like we're like, well, you know what? It's not going to stop, so we're
just
going to
go.
Happen,
like we got to get married.
Yeah, and it turned out to be
beautiful.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Because we still got a memorable wedding that we were wanting to have, but right after the wedding, it stopped raining, and so then we dried off a little bit, and we were still able to get the incredible pictures with the sky breaking and the sun coming out, and there was actually even a rainbow on the back.
It was really cool.
Man, you talk about God being faithful.
It was awesome.
Shoot, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was gorgeous. And even during the ceremony, with it pouring down rain, people holding umbrellas over us, it was still magical, and we got amazing pictures out of that.
We had some youth students.
Our youth students were holding the umbrellas over us during the middle of the ceremony.
Yeah, we probably had like 30 youth students there that were just a part of
the wedding, and, serving food, whatever,
Yeah, they ran up with the umbrellas and were putting them over us at the altar and
it was awesome though.
Yeah.
And I was soaking wet, and my dress was so heavy. You talk about a wedding dress already being heavy, and then a wet wedding dress. Mm-hmm. It was kind of miserable, but also hilarious. And so that is our story. We've been married for over half a year now.
That's right.
God is good. God is good. Just trust Him with your marriage, trust Him with your relationships, and God brings people together who are supposed to be together.
That's right.
And you don't have to worry.
And again, like the young relationships out there, I would just encourage you again to not do what the world is trying to tell you to do, or the culture that is forcing you into things, but be obedient to God. What is God asking you to do? What is God asking you and the girl of your dreams, or the boy of your dreams? What is God asking you to do? Because that's something we did as in our relationship, was we submitted to God and said, Lord, do you want us to get married a year from now, 2 years from now, or 6 months from now? Well, I don't know. I knew that I was going to marry Madison, and but I also wanted to honor God in the timing, and I believe that's what we did. And so if you're out there, I would encourage you to seek after God, to pray. And He'll speak to you. He will open up doors and opportunities, and He'll close doors, and or it may not be the right relationship. You don't know. Again, let God in on your life. Let Him know He already knows your thoughts, but let Him be in your circle. Let Him listen to the words that you say and the thoughts that you have in your mind. Let Him hear those come out, and He will be faithful, and He will honor you if you honor Him, and if you are obedient in everything that you do. So that is our love story, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, come on, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If you want to see more videos by us, we would love to have you stick around. Thank you, guys. Bye. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all